Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. I've been MIA for a couple of months, but I am back live in the studio, uh, talking about real estate and things of that nature. I'm flying solo today, so wanted to get into a couple of topics and just talk about that. But once again, I am Thomas Chappelle, the host of the Real Men of Real Estate, also the Black Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. Basically, what I want to talk about the nuances of the real estate investment world and why it's important to go to real estate investment clubs or any type of club to get information that you would need. The best thing about that I can say when it comes to these clubs is that I learned a lot since I've been going 2015, and it got me where I am today, being a part of a community that work together to inspire people to be able to become the best version of themselves. And if I had never done that, I wouldn't be doing the things I am doing in the real estate space. Being a real estate investor, it brings its perks and whatnot. I started off like most people, had no idea what I was doing, and ended up learning to wholesale and didn't know what wholesaling was. And a lot of people get wholesaling and flipping confused when they're really much the same. Basically, wholesaling is that you find a property and then you find a buyer. You get the buyer to buy that property from you. He'll give you a finder's fee for it. And then the flip side of it is the same thing. You find a buyer, or you buy it yourself, and then you flip it, and then you resell it, and that's when you get your funding from that point. So came into it, really didn't know what I was doing, and ended up finding mentors. And the key thing in real estate is being able to find mentors who can mentor you in the right way of doing the things that you want to do. So that's pretty much what happened in finding mentors. I tell, hey, look, I can't get nothing in my name. My credit was screwed up, this, that, and the third. And the thing was is that I went through a bunch of different people, and I had to find out with the particular mentors how they invest and what they invest in. That's one of the things that people don't understand. When you get into real estate, you're talking about being a wholesaler. People like, okay, they don't really know how to assess a property, how to come up with the numbers. And the biggest thing when you're talking about coming up with assessing, um, understanding what it takes to fix up a property, you know. So most people tell you, well, go to your family members and friends. Well, family members and friends are all have homes, and everyone's interested in selling, and they don't sell because they want to be able to get the most bang for their buck, but they know their property needs a lot of upgrade to it. And that's one of the biggest things is being able to upgrade. So your major key is the plumbing, the electric. Those are the most dynamic parts of it, the plumbing and electric, being able to upgrade those things. And then you got your foundation. Well, most people can't understand how that foundation stuff works. Well, the old school way is that if it's a hardwood floor, put the marble on the floor, and if the marble rolls, then that means your foundation is off. If it doesn't roll, then that means your foundation is fine. Then you also have cracks in the wall. You got to see where the cracks come from and things like that. That's also an indication that your foundation is off. And then you look at your ceilings and see if there's any water stains or your roof and things of that nature. And then the last thing you do is that you uh, check out the beams and the support systems in the house to see if anything has rotted out, termite damage, or things like that. Well, how do you go by doing that? Well, the best way of going by doing that is finding people that can assist you, like do ride-alongs. Find contractors and see how they assess a property. Get connected with appraisal people that know how to appraise a property. Get connected with title people that can give you all types of information on that particular property. Escrow companies, if you're dealing with escrow companies and you bring them a lot of inventory, when it comes time for you to either put the property in escrow and you're raising the funds to do that, they give you time versus just getting you to do it right away. Also, if you're waiting for one property to close to take funding out of that one to put it into escrow, they understand that as well. And then last but not least is finding you someone like a mentor or a real estate investor that can hold you by your hand as long as you put the work and the energy into it and help you. Some investors will do JV partnerships with you where they will furnish all the materials, pay for the property and pay for the contractor, and they can do a 50-50 split, or they can do a 60-40, 70-80, stuff like that. So a lot of people got to understand you just can't come in this watching these HTD programs and thinking I'm gonna come in here and make $1 million. No, you're not gonna do that. These are single family residents and it's gonna take some time. So the best thing to do is get up under a community that can help grow you. You never know who you're going to end up running into. And that's one of the beauty things about what I end up doing. I had to learn. It took me about 2 years before I got my first deal. My first deal was a wholesale deal, and it was a member from the club that I wholesaled the property to. And the thing about it was, I was guaranteed that I was going to get $5,000. And I was like, wow. And every time I saw the gentleman, he kept saying, you're going to get $5,000, $5,000. Well, unfortunately, the deal went south. So instead of me getting the 5 grand, I got half of it, which was 2,500. I was kind of disappointed because I kept being told that I was going to get the 5 grand. But once I got that, I said, you know what? This is not the last time I'm going to see this kind of money. And I kept pursuing it. You know, everybody thinks they're going to get rich quick, and anytime you're talking about a finder's fee, it can be anywhere between 2 grand and up. It's just based on how the numbers are. A lot of people, when they talk about doing a numbers, some people do 65%, 70%, 75%, 80% of the asking price. You know, so you take that, you times that by the asking price, and then you come up with what you should offer for the property. But before you do that, now you got to put the rehab costs in it. You know, what is it going to cost to fix this property up? You know, it depends on the age of the property and all the different things that need to take care of. If it's a cosmetic, you probably can get away between 20, maybe 35,000 dollars on that. If it's quite a bit of rehab, then it might be a little higher, 40 to 70,000. If it's a total rehab, like a burnt out, then you're looking at 70 and up. It just all depends. Now you factor that in, so you say, okay, the property is asking for 200,000. You take that and subtract 75% times divided by that times that. That probably give you 175 or 150,000. Okay, so then you tack on 30,000. Subtract that from that. So let's say if it's 75,000, you track 30,000. That's 45,000. Then you want to add your finder's fee. So whatever your finder's fee, if it's like $5,000, now you have 45. Now you have 40,000. Now the question is the homeowner willing to sell that property for 140,000? That's the key. You have to make sure your numbers right. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. So they have what they call a cheat sheet, which they have um, um, can't think of the name of it right now. Spreadsheets. That's what I want to say. They have spreadsheets out there that you can get off of Bigger Pockets for wholesaling as well as for flipping that would help you come up with the asking price you should be able to put down for that property and whatnot. These are the things that people need to learn and understand. The TV programs, they are a lot of dramatic and a lot of things you don't know behind the scenes of what's going on. So it could be a little confusing. You know what I'm saying? So when new people come into this arena, they really quite don't understand how this thing works. And basically, when you're talking about getting in from the ground up, you got to get into a community that will groom you to be able to understand what it is that you're doing because every investor buys differently. They got different aspects of what they're looking for in their property. So you have to get under them, follow them, and see what they do and how they do it in order to understand how they buy and what they buy to make sure when you come to them with all the different properties that you find, that you're not just giving them anything. Most people think getting stuff off the MLS. I tell them no, that's not going to work. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't. You would have to get out in the field and, like they say, drive for dollars, or like I say, shake hands and kiss babies like a politician would. Because there's homeowners that have off market properties, and they might be willing to sell, but if you give them a nice offer, you never know. Then you have distressed properties. What is a distressed property? A distressed property, most key things is like somebody's going through divorce and they really need to sell a property and they don't want the other party to make more money because they're angry with them. So, you know, depending on how you present it and the offer, they might take it. You got a lot of pre foreclosed, foreclosed. You got, you know, um, probates. You got all different types of properties out there. You just got to find a niche because everybody's in the same pool looking for the same type of deals, and you got to be creative in why you're looking for deals. A lot of people go to the courthouses and look up probates. Some people go to attorneys to get lists for divorce. Some people go to bail's bondsmen because there's somebody that's going to be in jail for quite some time and they need to sell their home so they can have some money to put on their books. There's a lot of different ways, and that's what these clubs support you on, helping you find your, to help you reach your goal, if I should say that better. Once you reach your goal, then you can move on and do it yourself. But a lot of times it can be confusing because if you don't have all the financing or if you don't have the right contractor, that's a key. That's a key component. Having the right contractor will either make or break your deal. You know what I'm saying? Because some contractors, they don't do what they say they're gonna do, or they overbid, or they underbid, and they come back and say, "Well, I need more money," or they have their subs to milk the clock. So if you give them a time frame, and sometimes they want to be able to milk the clock, then they turn around and take their time. So that's another thing that can mess up a deal. The other parts of it is that, you know, if you turn around, and I did that one time, I bought a house and I paid way too much for it. And I gave the wholesaler $55,000 for that property. If I would have got it cheaper, you know, than paying the 55, he would have got a nice, healthy finder's fee for it. But the fact is, I paid more than what it was worth. I end up not fixing the property up, and I lost on that deal. So I'm getting with these clubs and being in this community is what makes you become successful. And I've learned a lot in doing that. Now, getting to the other parts of it is that it's just not a social meeting, and people need to understand that you're not going there just to find a wife or find a husband, you know, or anything like that. You're actually going to connect with people that are interested in doing the same things that you are doing that make you become very, very successful. There's a lot of clubs out there that sells books, tapes, and videos. A lot of clubs do boot camps and things like that. I have never done neither. You know, I tell people in my club, I don't want your money, I want your brain. Because the simple fact of it is that people would dish out a lot of money to speak to what they consider a guru and come to find out they don't learn anything. You know what I'm saying? Um, so it's just one of those things that you have to be careful on what you're doing because these clubs cost, some of these clubs cost a lot of money. I don't know too much about Grant Cardone. However, people are paying him $30,000 just to hear him speak. And I'm like, wow. When I got started, I ended up going to Fortune Builders. And Fortune Builders had a thing where they were saying, okay, it's a 2 hour free workshop, which was only what, 15, 20 minutes. And they gave you the spiel to join their 3 day workshop. So their 3 day workshop cost $200. I paid for it. And then once you went to the 3 day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, on Saturday, that's when they dropped the gauntlet and said, okay, after lunch was over, okay, we're looking for people that's interested in buying our back system, which means we'll give you every access, everything you need to be successful, and it will take you about 6 months. But at the time that I went, they wanted 25,000. I had it, but I didn't think that it was important for me to pay $25,000 to take 6 months to learn this industry. So I opted not to go to that. But I did finish the 3 day and got a lot of information. And then when I moved to California, um, I Googled investors. Two names came up, and I don't remember the first name, but the second name came up was the Norris Group. Didn't know anything about the Norris Group. Didn't know who Bruce Norris was. So, real true story. I contacted the Norris Group, asked the receptionist, who can I speak to when it comes to investing? She gave me Aaron Norris when he was alive. And I talked to Aaron Norris for 45 minutes. I did all the talking. And people don't know me, I'm very cocky. I'm very arrogant. People say I'm opinionated, and I do love the sound of my own voice. So we talked for 45 minutes straight, and then he indicated to me is that I really don't have a mentor program, but I got somebody that I can sing you to. And he sent me to that gentleman, and I paid $100 a month to go to his networking group. And some things I didn't learn because it was over my head and things like that, but I did go until financially I wasn't able to go anymore. And right before I left, one of the members introduced me to Meetup. And when I went to Meetup, I started signing up for every real estate group they had. I'm talking about in Pasadena, in Los Angeles, in the Inland Empire, Irvine, or Orange County, different places, and started going to them. But then it got to the point where it got to be expensive, gas and time consuming, that I parked myself at the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club, where I learned a lot from the original owners, Stephen McKee and Todd Bear. And we did a lot of business out of that group. And I was like the first guinea pig, if you will, on a lot of things that they started. So that's what started and launched my career in real estate. And I owe a lot to those gentlemen for pouring into me. And I met a lot of different mentors: Andy Teasley, Bill Tan, Christina Suter, um, Pete Fortunato, John Schaub, Dice Boniford, Coach Mick Blackwell. Gotta mention Mick Blackwell. I learned a lot from all these different investors and whatnot. I'm going to take my first break, and I will continue my conversation on real estate clubs. So see you guys in 2. This is Thomas Chappelle of the Real Men of Real Estate. Thank you.
Radio. I'm your host, Ricky Perry, and we are affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and Sports, where we broadcast over 5 million households in the greater Los Angeles area. If you missed our previous shows, you can watch us on our streaming networks on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and the Android app.
Looking to attract your target market without soliciting or doing the cold calling? Call Marie Wade and book your consultation. Branding gives you the power to create a unique and classy perception of your business for your target audience. A marketing plan without the right branding will always cost more, take longer, and tend to deliver subpar results compared to a well-branded business. Marie Wade is a branding strategist who formulates effective marketing and media programs to promote your business in building your name, brand, and legacy. Marie has over 10 years of experience and a proven record of creating strong brand content for business owners, entrepreneurs, and companies using her creative ideas, recommendations, and innovative programs. Book now at mariewade.com or call her at 951-378-5316, 951-378-5316.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations radio talk show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship, You never know who may show up or what they may talk about. So join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hey guys, it's Damon, Mr. Foxy, Damon Hart, and I'm here with the Real Men of Real Estate. And I just want to say, hey, come and watch us this Sunday, 1 p.m. live, every Sunday. Okay, we're going to be on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. If you got a minute, just tune in. We can't wait to have you here. I'm going to be there. If you can't make it on there, we're going to be at Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Android app on Building Solid Foundations channel. So tune in. You know what you got to do in the meantime. Keep it foxy.
Well, welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. And where we left off at, we were talking about real estate clubs and the importance of these clubs as far as being in communities versus you just being a part of a group and really don't get anything out of it. Like I said, my mentors were very important in my life because I couldn't get where I am. You know, Aaron Norris was, and the funny part about that story, like I said, I talked to him for 45 minutes, but I did not know that Aaron Norris and I shared the same birthday, which was funny and ironic, and I didn't find that out until 2 years later. You know, never knew who the guy was, never saw him until 2 years later. Then 6 months after that, I found out that him and I shared the same birthday. I met his father personally, and at the event that I was in, I never saw, Aaron was there, but I never knew that that was Aaron. And I talked to his father, and I had his father, Bruce, come to my events on several occasions. I had him live, and I had him on Zoom. And these guys, with their wealth of knowledge, is what's outstanding. And the one thing I tell people when it comes to doing this is that Nike got the best slogan in the world, and the slogan is just do it. Do something. Never, ever in your entire life let anybody or anyone or yourself tell you that you can't do anything. That's what I did for almost 30 years. I told myself I couldn't do it because I didn't finish high school, and I'd have the right criteria, so I thought that, you know, I couldn't do this. And come to find out, this was lodged deep inside my soul, and I just never knew until now. After being in the game for over 10 years, it's like, wow, if I would have did this 20, 30 years ago, God knows where I would be at this point. And all you have to do is have a mind to want to do, not a mindset, because everybody use that word and don't truly understand what that really means. You have to have a mind to be determined to withstand every obstacle that comes in your path until you reach your goal. Now, some people say, well, that might take a while. Well, maybe it's not meant for you to see it, but as long as you start it and leave a blueprint, somebody can come behind you and finish it for you, and you can still get the glory. You know what I'm saying? The point is that we got to understand there's things inside of us that we don't even know. We don't even tap into that. It'll be amazing if we can use 100% of our brain, but we don't even use a quarter of our brain, you know, to where we can be successful. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's where you finish. It doesn't matter what you know, is who you know. And these individuals, people will be more than happy to team up with you to see you become successful because they want you to do the same thing to somebody else. They want to pass it along to the next generation. Some things end up dying and the next generation gets lost and don't really know exactly what they can do or how they can do it. So now we got a bunch of people walking around want to figure out who they are and what they are, you know. So now you're looking into a new millennium where the job world is gone and everybody's doing e-commerce business and things like that to where it's much easier. So no one's going to punch a time clock anymore. So now what's the next best thing to do? Be creative. There's a lot of things you can do. I mean, I got one thing that I know I couldn't do, which becoming an author. I never expected that, you know. But the point of the matter is that being in this community allowed me to see all the different possibilities that I can become something greater than myself. You know, that's why I tell people never let no one, no thing, or yourself tell you that you can't do anything in this world. You can, once you put your mind to it, it can become a reality. That's just the bottom line. And that's what the importance of these clubs can do for you. You know, then I went from learning how to wholesale to learning how to flip, from learning how to flip to learning how to buy and hold, and all the different nuances in that. Learning how to where now I got people coming to me, bringing me property and asking me to help them in their journey. I got property coming from all different sides of me. You know what I'm saying? From all different states, and I'm putting them out there, learning how to do loans, being a lender as far as hard money lender or personal lender. Never done that before. So those are all the different things. I just had did my club live for the first time since 2020. It was good. For the first time coming back, it was great. And my speaker was a gentleman named Steve Matley. Now, he does land entitlement. I didn't know anything about land entitlement. But now I learned about land entitlement. I knew about syndication, but I really never wanted to dabble into it. But now I can do that if I wanted to. But the land entitlement is that I'm helping him to find land, you know. And as I help him to find land, I get a finder's fee. And then once I get that funds, I can take a portion of that money, which is the minimum of $25,000, and I can put it into the business. And then it's a 2-year bid, which means I can't come back 90 days or 6 months talking about, hey, I need my money back. It's 2 years, and I can get anywhere between 30 to 50% on my return. That's great. That's better than putting money into annuity, a mutual fund, or stock, because you're only going to get less than 0.5%, which means that you'll get a penny a day. And you would have to let it stay in there and mature for 30, 40 years. Now, do you want to wait that long? No, I don't. So this is another way when you're talking about investing. Investing is finding out what you can invest in and how to invest. That's what we teach. So people that watches the show Shark Tank, you got the panelists up there that's got money, they want to invest it. They don't want to put it into annuity stock or whatever, and they want to get a bigger percentage. Sometimes that scares people. Well, they're going to lend you money, and they want back a bigger percentage. And you're like, how am I going to pay that back? If you know what you're doing, there's no reason for you to be considering how am I going to pay them back. You know what I'm saying? Because as long as you do what you do and you're flourishing, you'll be able to pay them back. And the best thing about that is that they're going to leave representatives behind to help you. They're not going to do the work for you. They're going to guide you. So that way you'll be able to pay those people back. And that's what the real estate club does. It gives you an opportunity to make money. So say for instance, you don't want to flip. You don't want to hold. You don't want to wholesale. But you have money aside that you got from a 401k, a Roth account, or something to that effect, and you want to put your money to work. Here's an opportunity where you can come to an investment club and say, hey, look, I got 30, 40,000 that I will put into a rehab deal. So if somebody comes up short on the rehab, now you come in and you charging them 10, 15, 20% on your return for whatever length of time that you want to put it in. And you'll be able to get a nice percentage back, you know. Or say, for instance, somebody's invested in syndication where they asking people to invest in a syndication where you put your money to this pool, you have access to it, but the person who's running the syndication controls it, but you still got access to it. You can see everything that goes on, and then they take that money and go invest it. And everybody in that syndication pool gets a percentage of what that money makes. So there's a difference between the two. You can do your own investment part, Or you can do syndication and everybody in that group shares the same amount versus you doing it separately. So these are the different things, and this is why it's very, very important that you understand these groups. You don't want to get into a group and then you get gun ho and get into something. I had a gentleman that I know. He just got in town, and he ended up investing some money and didn't even take the time to vet the individual. And vet means he didn't get a chance to get to know the person and find out if the person's legit, and gave them $100K. And he was guaranteed in return a certain amount of money, and also his name would be on grant deeds and different things like that. Well, unfortunately, it didn't happen that way. And he's very upset and very angry, so he's going after suing the person. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to get into a situation where you don't know who you're dealing with. You want to be able to know who you're dealing with. So that's what these communities are all about. These communities are about individuals coming together and being able to help each other further along in their endeavors. You can learn a lot, and it doesn't necessarily have to be real estate. You could invest into a mom and pop business, you know what I'm saying, and turn around and get 20% on your return and watch your money grow. You know, better than if you put it into a mutual fund, annuity, or stock and get 0.5%, because the banks are not interested in you making money. They are interested in them making money. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you invest outside of that industry to where you can get money. You know, story, and I'm going to paraphrase on the story because I don't want to give it all away because it's not my story. But one of the things is that, you know, learning how to use a financial calculator. A lot of people don't know what a financial calculator is. And a financial calculator helps you to understand when you go to purchase something, you know, that you got to finance, then the best thing you know what your terms and you know what your payment and your rate's going to be before you get there. And then they tell you something totally different. You know what I'm saying? Story was a person ended up financing something and wanted to get the payout, got the payout and found out that he already paid it off. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the financial calculator does. I got two people that really teaches it very well. One person is Bill Tan. He's got a financial calculator class. The other person is Andy Teasley. He also got a financial calculator class. Bill Tan's class is 1 day for 8 hours. Andy Teasley class is 2 days. They both teach creative financing. These are people that can help you be able to be as smart as a whip when it comes to doing anything and everything when it comes to investing. You know, I promote their classes because I've been to Andy's class several times, and he invests in mobile homes and he creates notes and different things like that. I haven't been to Bill's Tan's class, but I am going. I had planned on going this past Wednesday, but I didn't get a chance to go. But he's got another one coming up this Thursday that I will be in, and that one's just an introduction to the financial calculator. And then he has a full long class, and he's going to do it all on the internet. And his club is called LA RIA. His club is the second Wednesday of the month. You know what I'm saying? He brings a lot of good content to the party. He brings a lot of speakers that come and talk about, you know, why they got started in the business, how they got started in the business, how much money they made, how much money they lost, how much money they made again, because it's an up and down situation. A lot of deals are not 100% guaranteed. Sometimes you will lose your shirt. And those are the ones that don't want to talk about that. They want to tell you all this glamour and got you thinking, oh, well, I'm going to come in here and become rich. No, there's times where you do lose money in this business based on the decisions that you make. Everything that's shiny is not shiny. Like we say in Domino's, all money's not good money. So I'm going to take my second break, and I will be back again. And my next topic will be talking about my radio show. Thank you very much. This is Thomas with the Real Men of Real Estate.
You're listening to Fabulous Lifestyle Radio. I'm your host, Ricky Perry, and we are affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and Sports, where we broadcast over 5 million households in the greater Los Angeles area. If you missed our previous shows, you can watch us on our streaming networks on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and the Android app.
Looking to attract your target market without soliciting or doing the cold calling? Call Marie Waite and book your consultation. Branding gives you the power to create a unique and classy perception of your business for your target audience. A marketing plan without the right branding will always cost more, take longer, and tend to deliver subpar results compared to a well-branded business. Marie Waite is a branding strategist who formulates effective marketing and media programs to promote your business in building your name, brand, and legacy. Marie has over 10 years of experience and a proven record of creating strong brand content for business owners, entrepreneurs, and companies using her creative ideas, recommendations, and innovative programs. Book now at mariewaite.com or call her at 951-378-5316, 951-378-5316.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio Talk Show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about. So join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hey guys, it's Damon, Mr. Foxy, Damon Hart, and I'm here with the Real Men of Real Estate. And I just want to say, hey, come and watch us this Sunday, 1 p.m. live, every Sunday. Okay, we're going to be on KCAA Radio. 10:50 a.m., 106.5 FM. If you got a minute, just tune in. We can't wait to have you here. I'm going to be there. If you can't make it on there, we're going to be at Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Android app on Building Solid Foundations channel. So tune in. You know what you got to do in the meantime. Keep it foxy.
Well, welcome back again to the Real Men of Real Estate with your host, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr. One thing I want to say before I get into the radio show is that I forgot to tell you guys, I was able to raise a lot of money to do my deals. So I got very good at raising money and being able to fund a lot of deals of mine as well as fund deals for everybody else. So that's one of the caveats when you learn how to do this thing correctly. Now we're going to jump into the radio show. The purpose of me doing the radio show is to explain to people this thing we call real estate. And this gives me a platform to talk about that, bring in different guests to talk about their different journeys into real estate as well as mine. The one thing I did not know the importance of live radio versus internet, social media. Social media is great, but it only gets to those that are in your circle. That's why you have to follow or join everybody so they can get everything that you're doing, seeing. But what I'm seeing now with social media is doing is they're using a lot of sponsors to keep them going. And the one thing that I know as far as old school is concerned is the fact that the best way to get your content out is advertising, and advertising on radio and television. A lot of people say, well, television costs a lot of money. Not necessarily true. It's the same thing with radio. You have talk radio, which is what we're doing here at the Real Men of Real Estate. You can turn around and put a 30-second window commercial jingle talking about your platform and talking about your product, which is going to be worldwide, that people can reach out. The one thing I can say when it comes to that is that once upon a time when I used to live in Atlanta, Georgia, I was involved in an automobile accident and I was hit head on and I had to be airlifted to the hospital. When I woke up, I didn't know where I was. So the next day I asked this is when when we still were using white yellow pages and stuff like that. So I asked for a phone book, and I was looking through and I saw all these different attorneys, and I couldn't remember the one I wanted to. And all of a sudden I started singing the jingle, and I remember the number. I called them. They came and visited me. That leaves an impression on you as far as when it comes to your business. That's where you reach people when you're sitting here and they listening to your commercial, or they looking at your commercial and seeing your product and saying, okay, if I ever need this person's product, I'm gonna call them up. Or because of the quality of their product, I'm gonna call them up. We do things based on quality. You know, when we go buy a car, we buy it based on the quality of the manufacturer. Same thing with TVs, phones, and different things like that. We buy things based on the quality of that manufacturer. That manufacturer could have been around for decades, but because it's a traditional thing that's been passed down from generation to generation, we tend to do that. And that's one of the biggest things you need to do when you come to advertisement. You can advertise on this radio show, you know what I'm saying, and being able to get your content out. The whole thing of advertising is that it puts you in front of people instead of you going to find people. It puts you right in front of them. You can be in your home, you can be on the internet, you can be in your car, and they hear your commercial and they see your product. Next thing you know, you're making a hell of a sales on your product, because now they know who you are and what you're representing and things of that nature. So please, ladies and gentlemen, take time to listen to what we all putting out there. On my break, you seen the commercial of the queen, we call her, Marie Antoinette Waits. She is the organizer of the Real Men of Real Estate. And she's got her content out there to let people know who she is and what it is about her business, that you will make an appointment with her. Same thing I'm doing. I take appointments. You know what I'm saying? I got it. A lot of different things that I'm doing now since I've been very successful in this business. You know, the one thing I didn't say, and I'm going to say it now, a couple of my partners from my janitorial maintenance services came from real estate investment clubs. Name of the business is ETT&T Janitorial Maintenance. We are a veteran-based business, a disabled veteran-based business, doing government contracts, helping to put veterans back to work. So that's one of the things that this community does. I found my partners, they came out of it, and we started doing business and whatnot. We'll be a year next month, you know what I'm saying? And it's a great feeling that we can serve and be able to give back. That's one of the things we want to do in this community, is give back. The other thing I'm looking at doing is working with foster kids and being able to, those foster kids that are transitioning out of the systems, and being able to give them a home that they can live in to either further their education or go find a career job. Not a job, a career job that would sustain them for the remainder of their lives, to where they can actually, in a couple of years, buy this unit, and that'll be their home that they can take and go anywhere in the world with it. These are the things that these communities and this radio station does, is bring content to you to where you can be able to put your business out on the airwaves, and people can actually see you, you know, and say, hey, that it's a wonderful thing when you do that, you know. So the point of me doing this is that I get to see myself on television, you know, on Roku, on YouTube's, Amazon, Apple, building solid foundations that you can actually download on your Android app, because I'm an Android guy, even though I got an iPhone too, but I am an Android guy, you know, and I can look at myself over and over and over again. Yes, I told you once before, I'm cocky, I'm arrogant. People say I'm opinionated. I can receive that, and I love the sound of my own voice. But the fact that I do bring solid content to you, that you can say, hey, if this guy can do this, how can I not? You know, I'm giving you an opportunity to where now I'm asking you, the listening audience, to be a part of me, of this radio world. Be able to become a guest of mine. Not only become a guest of mine, put a commercial on this show. Those are the two things you can do. Be a guest of mine and be able to put a commercial on here. And if you want to know how to do that, you can reach out to me by emailing me, thomaschappelle33@yahoo.com. Once again, that's THOMAS, C like Charles, H like Harry, A like Apple, P like Paul, P like Paul, E like Edward, L like Larry, 33@yahoo.com. Now, the funny part about my name is that I don't know if Dave Chappelle did this for entertainment purposes, but he has an E at the end of his name. So when people see my name, they call me everything but Chappelle because they're used to Dave Chappelle having an E at the end of his name. But I am a Chappelle. There's a bunch of Chappelles in the world. So please reach out to me by email or you can contact me, 404-844-1828. Once again, that's 404-844-1828. And let's talk about it. Let's see how you can best fit to serve the community that you are in and people can see your product and want to be able to patronize your product no matter what it is. Or you can go ahead and put it on all the platforms that we have. So you have a choice, but call me. Let's talk about it and get you on the airwaves and let everybody see who you are and what you're representing and how you can help the community. You know what I'm saying? With all that coming out, I'm starting another company, TSC Properties, Chappelle Real Estate and Investment Groups. You know, these are all the things that are coming out of everything that I'm telling you because I've dipped my toe in a lot of different things. You know, I'm not one-dimensional, you know, and you don't want to be that way either. You know, you could actually turn around and do a whole lot of different things when you have the right platform. I'm not knocking social media, but the best way is live radio, live television. Just last month, we had a Super Bowl. There was 2 Super Bowls. One was a physical game. 2 was a physical advertisement. Companies pay a lot of money to put their content on TV to get you to buy their content. It's just like sitting down saying, you just ate a 7-course meal and you watching TV and this commercial comes on about a food or a dessert or whatever. And you says, that looks good. Now you program yourself that you want to try it. The question is when? Are you going to make room tonight to try it? Or are you going to wait till tomorrow to go try it? But you will try it. It's just when. So why not try being a guest on this radio show as well as putting a commercial out that people can see your product? There's no point in you having a product and nobody gets to see it. Websites, they're great. But the only difference is that it doesn't reach all the masses. And this is what you want to do is reach everybody you possibly can. Okay? So I'm going to take my last break here and I will come back and wrap everything up. You guys, thank you for tuning in to The Real Men of Real Estate, hosted by me, Thomas F. Chappelle Jr.
You're listening to Fabulous Lifestyle Radio. I'm your host, Ricky Perry, and we are affiliated with CNBC, NBC News, and Sports, where we broadcast over 5 million households in the greater Los Angeles area. If you missed our previous shows, you can watch us on our streaming networks on Roku TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and the Android app.
Looking to attract your target market without soliciting or doing the cold calling? Call Marie Waite and book your consultation. Branding gives you the power to create a unique and classy perception of your business for your target audience. A marketing plan without the right branding will always cost more, take longer, and tend to deliver subpar results compared to a well-branded business. Marie Waite is a branding strategist who formulates effective marketing and media programs to promote your business in building your name, brand, and legacy. Marie has over 10 years of experience and a proven record of creating strong brand content for business owners, entrepreneurs, and companies using her creative ideas, recommendations, and innovative programs. Book now at mariewaite.com or call her at 951-378-5316. 951-378-5316.
This is Steve Matley. Join me every Thursday at 3 p.m. right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio Talk Show. I spent decades as a professional construction manager, business owner, real estate developer, and a college educator, and I enjoy learning new things from other people. We talk a lot about real estate, business, and finance, but we cover a diverse range of other topics as well. Some of the topics we've discussed in the past few months include real estate investing, leadership, higher education, ADUs, marketing using technology, multifamily rental properties, business strategy, entrepreneurship. You never know who may show up or what they may talk about, so join us right here on KCAA for Building Solid Foundations Radio.
Hey guys, it's Damon, Mr. Foxy, Damon Hart, and I'm here with the Real Men of Real Estate. And I just want to say, hey, come and watch us this Sunday, 1 p.m. live, every Sunday. Okay, we're going to be on KCAA Radio, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM. If you got a minute, just tune in. We can't wait to have you here. I'm going to be there. If you can't make it on there, we're going to be at Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, or Android app on Building Solid Foundations channel. So tune in. But you know what you got to do in the meantime. Keep it foxy.
Welcome back to the Real Men of Real Estate. We're in our final stretch, so I'm just going to make it quick and wrap it up. I believe that this has been a very interesting conversation about real estate and all the different things that we do on social media, the meetup groups and different things like that as radio. But like I said, I do have appointment times that I give out. I am going to be starting a new website, TSC Properties and Chappelle Real Estate Investment Group. The whole thing of it is just reach out to me and let's have a conversation on your journey and the things that you want to do, and let's see how you can help. I am a mentor / motivational speaker. The one thing I do is I like to motivate people. And I'm telling you right now, never, ever let anyone tell you what you can or cannot, or tell yourself what you cannot do. Nike's got a best slogan, just do something. Once again, I am Thomas, Thomas, C like Charles, H like Harry, A like Apple, P like Paul, P like Paul, E like Edward, L like Larry, 33 at yahoo.com. Thomas Chappelle 33 at yahoo.com. My phone number is area code 404-844-1828. Once again, that's 404-844-1828. It's been wonderful being your host. Remember, you can find me on all social media platforms. I am Thomas F. Chappelle Jr., and I approve this message. See you next time. Have a good one.